more major live events than any other network. Tonight live from the Sports Arena in San Diego, California, Sports Time presents Major Indoor Soccer League action. Tonight featuring the Cleveland Force and the San Diego Sockers. This evening's telecast is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sports Arena here in San Diego as the Sockers are being introduced in the background. Kevin Slayton alongside Bill McDermott in a classic matchup tonight, Bill, of two of the most potent teams in this league. Cleveland got off to a slow start. Kai Hoskevy was injured for 10 games. He's back, and thus they are back.
Very much so, Kevin. Two very important cogs in the Eastern and Western Division. These teams are very powerful. The San Diego Sockers, as of late, have fallen upon kind of hard times, though. They're currently in the midst of a 6-game homestand. They're 2-2 on that. They got off to a 10-1 start. They've fallen somewhat upon hard times, but they're still a very potent team. And the Cleveland Force, well, you mentioned it. Kai Hoskevy was hurt. Along with that, Craig Allen was hurt. Consequently, they went down a little bit in the standings, but they'll always be a side to be reckoned with.
San Diego has split their last 10 games. We take a look at the Eastern Division standings, and you see where Cleveland is. But we were in here a little earlier in the year, Bill, and we saw the Sockers, and who would have thought that they would have split any games at all during the year?
I didn't think they were going to lose any more games. They didn't only beat the St. Louis Steamers at that, and that was back December 15th, our last time on Sports Time. They took them apart. They absolutely took them apart. Jungle was in top form, so was Kaz, Dana, Gene Wilrich, Bronco Segura. They're very powerful going forward, and when they get attacks going from the back, they can be all the more powerful.
We mentioned Steve Jungle, of course, the great goal-scoring machine for San Diego. He has been expected to play a little defense here in San Diego by Ron Newman, and he says he flat out doesn't like it.
He doesn't care to play defense. He tells Ron Newman, I haven't been doing that well, so consequently we haven't been doing too well. I want to play offense. Not only does he tell Ron Newman what to do, but he tells his other teammates what to do. You want goals, though, he'll get them for you in bunches. Clearly the most devastating forward in indoor soccer.
Jimmy Gorsuch, the goalkeeper for San Diego, was questionable. He has some injured fingers. He got kicked in practice, but he was also suspended for a day because he kicked Paulo Mora. What's going on out here?
The San Diego Sockers, maybe there's a little trouble at home. I mentioned they're 2-2 in his homestand. Very uncustomary that they would lose games at home here. But they seem to be back in form now. As you mentioned, Jim Gorsuch will be starting tonight. Zoltan Toth back from an injury. He's back tonight too, but Gorsuch will be starting.
All right, now let's go down onto the field for our national anthem. Our national anthem by any other name, right? They did it to me again. Keep confusing us. There's the Western Division standings. We talk about San Diego. Just a half-game edge over the Los Angeles Lasers, who are really breathing down their neck. The Lasers have, I guess, over the last 10 games, been playing the best soccer of the league, with San Diego struggling and splitting their last 10. But I think, Bill, that when this season is all said and done, you'll see San Diego somewhere around the final two.
Oh, I think they'll make it to the playoffs. Just a minute ago, you were talking about the Lasers, Kevin. They really have been playing some consistent soccer lately, starting in the back, as usually it always does with their keeper, Mike Mahoney. He's been the only player in the nets this year for the Lasers, and they have some very talented forwards with Batata and Poli Garcia, so they are literally breathing down the necks of the home side San Diego Sockers here this evening.
Toros Caprician, Billy Maxwell, and Kelly Mock, the officials tonight. Toros and Bill Maxwell working on the floor. The Sockers will be in their white, and the Force in the blue. 3 in a row for Cleveland. They are hot. And most of that has all come since Hoskevy came back 4 games ago. He played 1 game, still limping around, and then he was fit to go, and they haven't lost since. Had a hat trick in Pittsburgh in a game that we had here on Sports Time. Hope you're able to see that one, because you may not ever see a better game.
What a dandy that was. I wonder if the Cleveland Force are fit after that game. They were non-stop, of course, as were the Pittsburgh Spirit. That was a great game.
Louis Lanchoff, now Christensen for the Force. Christensen started to score some goals for Cleveland. Bernie James, and there's Hoskevy. They like to look to him constantly. He's the man that pulls the string for them. And it's knocked over the glass, and it'll belong to Cleveland.
Right, the reason he's so talented, Kevin, is that he always does a very good job of getting away from his defender. He's an experienced performer in this major indoor soccer league, and he realizes you cannot stand next to the man who's marking. You must get away. Similar to that play right there.
Oskavy in the corner, but he's double teamed now. Needs to get rid of it, and now he loses it, and that one nearly was handed right back to them by Gorsuch. Wilrich now for the Sockers. Boy, when he and Kaz Dana do their thing, it's really a sight to see. Jungle wins the ball, and now the Sockers trying to bring it out of their own end, and they will do so very well. This is a very, very potent offensive team. And here is Jungle at his own red line. See if he plays any defense tonight.
They can be electrifying, though, Kevin. You saw Jungle there early on in the game. Perhaps that's a pattern this season. He comes back to help out his defense and bring the ball forward.
Kevin Crow battling upfield, and that's when Jungle has to go back, is when one of the defenders overlaps. Now Louis Nanchoff with an interception for Cleveland, and they come out 3-on-2, but that evens up in a hurry. Kaz Dana hustling back.
You're exactly right, Kevin. Any team can play 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. That is even numbers, on defense. When somebody goes by you, you better pick them up, because attacks in this league are so sophisticated, they know immediately how to capitalize on a man advantage.
Cleveland takes advantage of that ball in the stands to switch lines. So does San Diego. We might mention Timo Likoski, the head coach of the Cleveland Force, in the hospital, and we wish him well back in Cleveland. Jay Hoffman taking over tonight as you look at Jimmy Gorsuch, the San Diego goalkeeper, and there's Chris Vaccaro for Cleveland. So Jay Hoffman in his first head coaching duties of the year. Keith Murphy has stepped on the field for Cleveland, and that means there is a new record holder as far as durability in the league. 162 consecutive games, and that is he with the ball. But he gives it away. Not a very auspicious beginning to the record-setting night for Murphy. Great interception by Meffam, because Segota had a step on it.
You talk about Jay Hoffman, Kevin. He stepped into the head coaching chores tonight. He was a former assistant coach with the now defunct Buffalo Stallions, and he's been with Timo Likoski for years. So, as you mentioned, we hope Timo gets better quickly.
Segota for the Sockers. Hugo Perez had been tripped, but there wasn't a call.
Here's another guy you got to really watch, Kevin. The man with the ball now. He is really entertaining, very exciting, very quick and explosive with 1-2s and give and goes. Number 18, Hugo Perez.
And this guy's explosive, Allen, but he has it knocked away by Gary Collier, and Collier will win the race to the ball, and he sends it back for Gorsuch.
Hugo Perez, I was talking about him just a moment ago, Kevin. He had been just recently reinstated in the Sockers roster. He had been dropped for disciplinary reasons early on in November.
Brian Quinn with a great solo effort. He made 2 or 3 moves that put the defenders away, and then he hit the shot wide.
Good run there by Brian Quinn. He saw he had the chance to go forward, kept making space for himself with some nice intricate moves in close.
Here's Perez now, the man you talked about. He missed some games with disciplinary problems earlier in the year. Segota with a nice move now for Perez in the corner. Dargle on him for Cleveland. This is a tough place to come in and win. San Diego, however, has been beaten here 3 times this year, which is rare for them. I mean, they dominate when they're here at home. Kaz Dana now in the corner. He'll deal it to you on either foot, whichever one you prefer, and he'll hit you in stride.
That's right. They've only won 21 of the last 24 games, Kevin, here at home, and 52 of 58, dating back 3 years ago.
You take those 3 they've lost this year and throw those out, and it's 52 of 55, so it's almost ridiculous to come in here and think you're going to win. But don't tell the Force that tonight. They've been playing very well.
They have been. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and as I mentioned in the open, Kevin, always a team to be reckoned with in this league.
St. Louis and Chicago battling in Chicago tonight. We'll try to update you on that game, because that's important for Cleveland as far as 3rd place. St. Louis needing to win in order to battle the Force for 3rd place in the immediate standings. If Cleveland would win tonight, it wouldn't matter what St. Louis would do. The Force would still be in 3rd place.
And that's no easy task for the Steamers, or for that matter, any team to go into Chicago Stadium. The Sting are red hot at home in particular, and they're winning all these games without Palomar Heading.
They seem to be playing better without him, if that's possible.
Jerry Gray has absolutely been brilliant for the Sting this year.
Right in front for Segota, but he couldn't settle it down enough to get a shot off, and now Dargle comes out of there to Craig Allen. Cha-Cha Namdar with the interception in midfield, but Allen comes back and steals it again.
Allen was anxious to win that ball back, Kevin. He knew he had given Mike Sweeney a bad ball.
It's knocked away, but Sweeney gets control of it. There is Allen, but he couldn't get it to him. And here's Segota squeaking down the far side. He nearly took Vaccaro's head off with that shot.
What a great ball out of the back by Gorsuch. Then Segota one-on-one with the keeper, just towed wide in the near post.
Boy, he'll make you pay if you get in front of his shot. Here's Hoskevy, but he loses it. Christensen runs it down. Jungle battling him. Jungle doing a good job of coming back on defense that time. Crow nearly loses it, but Jungle wins the ball and gets it to Wilrich. Michael Kahn intercepts for the Force.
Look at Jungle out here running like a teenager.
I don't know what's going on. That one blocked by Bernie James, but Crow gets a hold of it. Here is Jungle. Lays it off for Wilrich. And now Wilrich's pass intercepted by Louis Nanchoff. Very quickly to Hoskevy. He's not really much of a defensive player himself, is he?
He will occasionally come back to play a defensive midfielder. He can alternate between a point position and a midfielder, Kevin. But normally, and as of late, he's been playing deep away from the defenders.
Oh, Christensen hit the post, and Hoskevy couldn't convert the rebound. That shot came out of nowhere by Tommy Christensen. We mentioned that he's been playing very well lately, scoring some goals for the Force, but he nearly had one there. Brian Quinn leaving it off for Daly, who hits it wide. And now Bernie James wins the race to the ball.
Good play there by Brian Quinn, Kevin. They'll bring the ball all the way down in goal and then wait for a teammate to run onto it.
Nanchoff using the boards, trying to pass it back to himself. And now Bernie James retrieves the loose ball for Cleveland. 9 minutes left in the first quarter. We're scoreless, and both teams have had good opportunities so far.
One of the key things you have to keep in mind when playing against the San Diego Sockers, Kevin, is to prevent against their quick counterattacking style.
Hoskevy battling down low, and there's a whistle. And the first foul of the game will go against San Diego. Gary Collier, a little bit too physical down there.
And you saw Hoskevy there wanting to get the quick.
Nanchoff scores the goal for Cleveland. And with 8:34 left in the first quarter, they have the lead.
Well, that goal was scored simply by number 13, as you look at him there, Louis Nanchoff, because he had a time to watch. Now, Kevin, on the dead ball, to receive it, look up, turn, go at the goal. That's basically a simple game when you play with your back to the goal and your defender gives you time to turn. Here's number 13, Louis Nanchoff, doing a nice job of fighting off the last defender, slides it inside. Gorsuch at the near post, 1-0 for the Cleveland Force.
Here at the Sports Arena in San Diego, Louis Nanchoff giving Cleveland the game's first goal. And they lead the Sockers 1-0. San Diego has been having problems giving up the first goal in games, and they've done it again here tonight. That foul whistle against Benny Dargle.
Well, one of the keys to that goal for the Cleveland Force, Kevin, was the fact that Hoskevy immediately got the ball back in play on a quick free kick situation.
That kick saved by Vaquero, robbing Quinn. And now Quinn knocks it over the glass.
It's a good view of the senior referee for tonight's game, number 8, Toro Scabrici.
Ron Newman, 4 times Coach of the Year. He's won 5 soccer championships. He's done pretty much everything as a coach.
He really has. The winningest coach in United States professional soccer history, Ron Newman.
Tom Phillips says there ain't but 2 kinds of coaches. One that gets fired and one that's going to be fired. Ron Newman has escaped.
You kind of know that sooner or later along the line when you sign the contract.
A trip against Dargle, and it'll benefit San Diego.
Here's that play again. Segota laying it off square for Brian Quinn. And he's fouled from behind, clearly, by Benny Dargle.
Made it look worse than it was. Oh, Sweeney very dangerously giving it back to Vaccaro. Segota looked up at the sky. He nearly had an interception. Murphy with a drive that's blocked up the defense. Nice job that time by Schmetzer. And a whistle goes against Brian Quinn of San Diego. He knocks Murphy down. Oh, Murphy threw an elbow, and I can't believe they missed that. I can't believe it. Right in front of the referee. Dargle able to deflect it. Now Quinn is kicking at Murphy, and Quinn's going to be caught. And he's telling her, Billy Maxwell, and rightly so. But it's never the original center that's caught.
That's right.
We'll be back. 7:07 left in the first quarter. 1-0 Cleveland. The 8th best penalty killing unit in the league, the Sockers. They're out there to kill a penalty now. They've been pretty successful at it. Been able to kill 70%. Cleveland has scored 24% of the time when they've had the man advantage. Now Christensen fans on it. Kyer can't clear it out. Furphy, Oskavy, Kazmany, Allen, and Christensen out there for Cleveland.
Saw the Wichita Wings play last night, Kevin. They scored a power play goal as if the ball was magnetized to their feet. The typical Wichita Wings style. Pop, 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 knocking around, quick ball movement, scoring quickly.
Pop, pop, pop. I thought you were going to sing a song. 6:20 left in the quarter. 1:10 left in the penalty. Kazmany bringing it down. There's Allen in front. It's deflected. Now Hoskevy deflects it again, but they can't do anything with it. And here comes Kyer for the Sockers. Gene Wilrich out there for San Diego. He has the ball inside the red line. Wilrich with a great run, and he nearly had a shorthanded goal. Murphy did a good job of getting back there.
He really did, but a tremendous run by Gene Wilrich out of his own end. He went forward, Kevin, saw he had the opportunity. Didn't waste any time.
They're booing everything Murphy does.
Oh, yeah.
He's lucky he's still in the game. If they'd seen what he did, he probably wouldn't be. Clavijo in the steal for San Diego. Around Murphy. San Diego's doing a good job of killing this penalty. They've had the better scoring chances. Now Crow has it. He'll just try to kill time. Just 15 seconds left in the penalty, and they will kill it. Now Gorsuch clears it all the way down with 6 seconds left.
That's the object. Play keep away. Make the other team do the running. Keep the ball away from them. Nice job of it.
Quinn is back out, so San Diego able to kill that power play. With 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Cleveland a 1-0 lead. Big opportunity for the Force that they let get away. And there's a trip, and it's going to go against San Diego. Or is it? He pointed against San Diego. Now, of course, Cabrician changes it. Craig Allen tells him, hey, point the other way. Pretty physical through the first 10 minutes of this game. But that's nothing new, especially between these two teams. Very good high-speed indoor soccer, so you know there's going to be some collision. Jungle into the corner, but Kaz Dana wasn't waiting for it, and Jungle gives him a look like, hey, when I make a pass, you move.
However, he couldn't have caught that ball in a rocket sled.
I didn't know who he's passing to. Maybe he saw somebody in the first row. 4:20 left in the quarter. Long pass for Quinn. He couldn't quite handle it. Now he tries to slide it ahead for Dana, but he can't get it through James down low, and now the foul is called against Cleveland.
When Antioch can't believe it, throws the pitcher, says, I made the call, just get away.
Well, it goes against Louis Nanshaw.
Kyoski, the captain of the Cleveland Force, talking over with the senior referee. And that is the 6th foul of the first quarter, Kevin.
So that'll be a 2-minute penalty. It'll go against Cleveland for a bench penalty, and Craig Allen will serve it. Here's another look.
There it is again. Louis Nanshaw going right at the last defender, as he usually does. There you see referee Toros Cabrician pointing the other way. I thought Louis was doing a nice job of protecting the ball with his body, but nonetheless, that's the 6th foul whistled up in the first quarter.
Picky, 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 right? And now you're going to see one of the worst penalty killing units in the league, and that's Cleveland.
You saw that 6th foul rule haunt the Wichita Wings last night, Kevin, in overtime. They had a hand foul called, which was the 6th foul of the overtime period. They lost to the St. Louis Steamers in overtime.
San Diego's pulled the goalkeeper for this power play. Crow is wearing the goalkeeper's jersey, so in effect they'll have a 2-man advantage.
They went back in this game immediately.
In a hurry. And there they are. Great save by Vaccaro. Oh, that was a big one. Segota trying to head it in. Unbelievable save by Vaccaro. Cleveland's given up better than 52% goals against them on a power play, so they're not all that good, as I said, at killing penalties to begin with. And now when you add to it another man, it's really going to be tough. Oh, in front, Perez, he scores!
Number 18, Hugo Perez, congratulated by his teammates as he equalizes for his home side, San Diego Sockers. He's a very talented player, a young performer, plays the United States national team. He starts to play, lays it off to Kaz Dana. What a lovely ball by Dana. Now a diagonal pass across the face by Branko Segota. And here it is again. Here's Segota's ball. Lovely ball across the face of the goal with the outside of his left foot. Hugo Perez finishes it off and makes it 1-each the Sockers in the force. Great play by the San Diego Sockers. Quickly, adroitly, going right at goal.
For Perez's third goal, Segota gets the assist. 3 goals is not a lot for a player of Perez's ability, but as I mentioned earlier, he missed a lot of the season with disciplinary problems. And thus, he has just been back for a few games. This is only the 6th game all year in which he's played.
Yeah, he's just recently been reinstated, Kevin. He will definitely add some flair to this Sockers team. He's the type of player that the United States needs on a national side. I saw him play against the Netherlands Antilles in their World Cup qualifying game. Add some flair and some individual brilliance. Very good natural-born winger.
Murphy for the force. Oh, he went between Crow's legs, and Gorsuch didn't see it till the last minute. Here's Jungle. Dargle knocks him off the ball very well, and Vaccaro smothers it. Sockers have been beset by some key injuries also, so that 5-5 split in the last 10 has been without Adi Coker for the most part.
That's right, Kevin. Conspicuous by his absence is Adi Coker. He's a very talented performer.
Had an appendectomy, and he'll be out a little while longer. They're hoping he can get back by the 1st of February.
And he almost had an infection in that due to that surgery, Kevin, and was going to have to go back in for another surgery, which would have left him out for a month or 2. Fortunately, he's looking to be back out of the hospital this week. He didn't have that second surgery.
Zoltan Toth with the broken finger, the goalkeeper with a 7-1 record, hasn't been around either. Dargle intercepting that pass intended for Dana, and it's a good thing because the Sockers were in high gear with Jungle and Quinn also going forward. 2:11 left in the quarter.
Excuse me, Kevin, that high attack, that high speed, the game played at high speed. Not too many teams in the league do it better than the Sockers. When Jungle has the ball at his feet going forward, you know the attack is on. There's another individual, number 21, behind referee Bill Maxwell, Fernando Clavijo. He hadn't been playing for the Sockers. He adds some more dimension to their attack, players coming forward.
Sockers using that power play to tie the game. And they are now on offense again with Segota. It seems like he's been everywhere the action is tonight. Looking for the quick outlet, but Hoskeby was all the way down in his own end. That's who he usually looks for. And there is Kai with the ball. Michael Kahn overlapping for the force. Louis Nanshoff has some of the best individual skills you'll see. That is he with the ball, and it's finally deflected, nicely so by Collier, but Louis Nanshoff will give you a headache if you watch those moves.
He's tremendous, Kevin. You'll see 2 of the best one-on-one players in the league here tonight. Hugo Perez for the San Diego Sockers and Louis Nanshoff for the Cleveland Force. You have to have a forward like that on your team to split up defenses.
Coming up on a minute left in the first quarter. Here's Daly, but it's taken away by Michael Kahn. He gives it right back to Namdar, but Vaccaro had the angle cut off very well.
Carl, very quick and agile in goal. A very good backup, if you will, if you wanted to call him that. But actually, between Vaccaro and Sobieski, they do a nice job of splitting duty. But since Sobieski has been injured, Vaccaro's been the starting keeper.
Hoskeby was just simply tackled, and they didn't call anything. Segota now. Segota rockets it wide. Namdar over. I think Hoskeby hit his head on the floor. Segota trying to punch it in, but Vaccaro knocks it clear. Clavijo now gets it down to Cha-Cha. One of my favorite names, Cha-Cha Namdar. For Hugo Perez, working on Christensen. There's a collision with Michael Kahn, and Segota keeps it alive. 15 seconds left in the quarter. He'll shoot it. Oh, and he just hit it wide. I like to watch Segota tee it up.
I was about to say, sooner or later tonight, you'll see Bronco Segota get a hold of one. There it was. You'll see it more tonight.
Oh, there's smoke coming out of the end of it when he kicks it. There's the horn. That ends the first quarter from the Sports Arena here in San Diego. And we're all tied. The Sockers and the Force, one apiece. Back here at the Sports Arena in San Diego after the first quarter, tied at 1. Sports Time bringing you a season of All-American college basketball action. It continues Saturday, 2 live games. 4 Eastern time, the Midwestern City Conference, Loyola beating Oklahoma City University. Then at 8:30 Eastern, the Kansas State Wildcats and Oklahoma Sooners in Big 8 conference play. All of that's live, All-American college basketball this Saturday right here on Sports Time. I'll be excited to see Alfrederick Hughes of Loyola.
I'd like to play a little one-on-one with Wayman Teasdale.
Keith Furphy getting an award here for playing in the 162nd consecutive game. That's the new MISL record. Congratulations to Keith. He's lucky he's still in the game, though, after the elbow he threw.
He gets that award here tonight in San Diego, much to the displeasure of the fans assembled here this evening.
Nice of Ron Newman, the San Diego coach, to give it to him, though. Yeah, Wayman's tough, although they've been doing it without Wayman Tisdale lately. The Sooners have. They beat the Kansas handily, as it turned out, thanks to Darrell Kennedy's 30-plus afternoon against Kansas. And the other night he played against Iowa State, but he got a lot of help. Didn't even start the game because he had the flu, and they beat Iowa State on the road. So Oklahoma's disproving a lot of theories about that team. Number one, first and foremost, that they are a one-man team. They are not. I rest my case.
Hey, I'll buy it. Whatever you say about college basketball, I accept.
Anything? We're all tied at a goal apiece here. Cleveland scored first, Louis Nanshaw from Huskabee, but then on a power play, the Sockers pulled their goalkeeper, and Hugo Perez, with virtually a 2-man advantage, scored the tying goal. Here is Meffam now. Dennis Meffam for the Force, laying it off for Dargle. He tried to get it to Furphy, but it was knocked away, and a good thing by Katakalitis, who's playing with a sprained ankle.
Nice play. A nice attempt by Benny Dargle. It would have been easier had Furphy, again, Kevin, gotten away from his defender. You can't stand right next to your defender. Here's trouble.
Steve Jungle, he tried to cut back, but Dargle got a piece of it. One-on-one, that's usually a goal. Furphy gets the lucky bounce, but Perez knocks it away from him. Hugo Perez for Katakalitis. Gene Wilrich has it knocked away from him by Benny Dargle. As if they needed any more scoring, the Sockers get it from Perez.
Brilliant. Brilliant in close work by Hugo Perez.
Here's Kevin Crow now off the boards in front, but nobody's there, and Dargle heads it out. But the Sockers maintain possession. They've been doing it all night. Kaz Dana now steps on. There he is with the ball. His shot off the boards for Wilrich. He can't control it. And now Dargle knocks it out of there. Here's Segota. Bronco moving in, but Sweeney able to take care of it.
Really no mystery, Kevin, why the San Diego Sockers are high atop the Western Division. 4 players in the top 20 scoring. Steve Jungle, Dana, Wilrich, and Segota.
And here's the interception by Dana. He headmans it forward. Here come the Sockers. Segota with Quinn. Segota, nice move. Crosses it over for Dana. He scores!
Beautiful work by Bronco Segota and number 10, Kaz Dana. You think we're going to put that ball in the goal?
It's hard not to make it, wasn't it? He almost fell down, and he still was able to make it.
Frank Quinn lays it off to Bronco Segota. Here he looks up, goes right at that last defender. Watch this individual brilliance by Bronco Segota on the left wing. Lays it across the face of the goal. Dana's standing there unmarked. Of course he's unmarked. Segota, watch now, Kevin, draws 1, 2, 3 defenders in the process. Furphy caught ball watching. It goes across the face of the goal. Dana makes no mistake with a pass like that. Of course, hardly any player in this league is going to make a mistake with a pass like that.
Nice look at it from our reverse angle. Casimir Dana with his 24th of the year, and it's 2-1 San Diego. The
The final score, Kevin, from Chicago. The Chicago Sting 9, the St. Louis Steamers 5.
They only got 9 tonight, huh? Brian Quinn in for Segota for Dana again. Down to Segota, and he scores! You don't do it any better.
Oh, is this lovely stuff by the San Diego Sockers? Giving the Cleveland Force undergraduate and a graduate degree in one simple tour up the field. Beautiful stuff by Bronco Segota. Here it is again. Segota again starting to play. Here he comes forward, wins the tackle. Now Brian Quinn lays it off to Segota. A 1-2 with Dana. Oh, it isn't that lovely stuff between Segota and Kaz Dana. They now lead by a score of 3-1. We're coming back.
Segota and Dana simply switching positions. On the last goal, Segota fed Dana. This time, Dana feeds Segota. Ron Newman talking it over with his ball club, but he's got a 3-1 lead with 12:16 left in the half.
And what Dana and Segota did on that last goal-scoring spree, Kevin, was what every team in this league practices. 5v2 or 3 against 2, something of that nature, but they'll attack in numbers, getting somebody short-handed, 2-on-1, and they did it brilliantly.
All of that passing coming in such close quarters, and all of it's so perfect.
And under tight restrictions by defenders. They immediately took the defenders out of the play by the quick ball work.
Here's Segota again. He's really been a helpful addition to this team. When they got Jungle, everybody knew there was trouble, but then when they got Segota too, closed the door.
We did a couple games this summer, Kevin, on Sports Time, outdoor games. Segota and Jungle teaming up nicely for the Golden Bay Earthquakes. They were marvelous then.
Here's Segota again, trying to get it to Cha-Cha Namdar. Daly intercepts for the Sockers. In the corner, Steve Daly. Outside he comes to Schmetzer. And the Force able to intercept with Christensen. Well, they played together, Segota and Jungle did, with the Arrows for so many years. They have not been apart from each other very often. And it looks like it when they play together. Gene Wilrich in front, but too high for Hugo Perez. Here's Hoskevy one-on-one with Clavillo. Now 3-on-2 with Christensen hurrying down. Christensen just seems like he doesn't want to use that right foot.
He's much more dangerous with that left foot, Kevin, as we saw a couple weeks ago in Cleveland. That ball there could have easily been hit first time with his right foot. However, he's not that comfortable with his right foot.
Quinn off the boards, and Meffam knocks it over the glass. Belongs to the Sockers. Great pass from Perez. He nailed it from midfield that time. And Quinn didn't hesitate.
That's right, Kevin. And again, that dangerous near-post rebound that clearly confused the keeper, Chris Vaccaro. This Brian Quinn about to take the corner kick, Kevin. Does a lot of nice things for this San Diego Sockers team, too. He comes forward, gets involved in the attack, and he does things quickly.
Quinn off the glass. Crow hits a weak shot, and Vaccaro's able to feel that. He quickly outlets it to Allen, who hasn't done much so far tonight, but just when you start thinking he's not going to do anything, he makes a run like this. Working on Clavillo, and he nearly lost it, but Dargle is there to get it.
Allen needs somebody to run off the ball from him. When he comes forward, he draws 2 defenders with him. Both defenders are standing there on him. Consequently, there's a man open, but they have to show up and go into the open space.
Murphy gives it away. Now Quinn for the Sockers. Little Hugo Perez at the red line. Well, you wait for Jungle to explode in any game in which he hasn't scored. And here he comes, and he hits it wide across the goal line.
Absolutely beautiful work in a close, tight, confined situation by Jungle and Hugo Perez. Again, Kevin, the 1-2. Any 2 players in the world can beat anyone with that 1-2.
Keith Furphy to midfield, has lots of room. Clavillo not challenging him. Now he does. And Furphy gets rid of it. They're still booing Furphy on every play.
They don't care for him. They don't care about his record either.
And there's Furphy, nearly scored, but Gorsuch robbed him on the doorstep. Oh, what they really don't care for was the elbow that he threw.
That's right.
And got away with it.
Watch that last shot. Mike Sweeney taking the shot and our pass, if you will, across the face of the goal. Nice diagonal ball for Furphy.
Great save by Vaccaro. as Woolrich wound it up and let it go. Here's Kaz Dana. They're going to start playing with it again. It's going to really be something to watch. Collier sending it back. Katakalidis back for Gorsuch. He nearly handed it to Allen, but Jungle was able to beat him to the ball. Gorsuch better be careful. Now they'll get it out of there. Jungle in midfield. Looking for some help. He's going to take Sweetie on himself. Gets 2 defenders down, but he lost control of it. A little bit frustrating for Jungle. He took 2 defenders to the floor, but he just couldn't keep his balance.
You saw him initially, Kevin, as you pointed out when he first got the ball, and his arms outstretched so much as to say, someone open up or come to me, so it makes it easier for me to lay the ball off.
Kevin Crow overlapping at the red line. Here's Jungle with Dargle on him. 3-1 the Sockers, and it's handed away. Allen has a breakaway, and he scores! Gorsuch's furious, but there was nothing really to be done. The errant pass caught him, and he had nothing to do but run up there and do the best he could.
Here it is again. Gene Woolrich, a careless ball across the face of the goal. I should say across the play. Gorsuch comes off his line, tries to defend. He gambled. He lost on a gamble. Craig Allen scored. 3-2 now in favor of the San Diego Sockers.
7:53 left. We'll be back. The Sockers over the Force. Last night in basketball with the Shockers. Tonight soccer with the Sockers. If I make a mistake, folks, bear with me.
All right.
I'm sure that Bill will correct me post haste.
No.
Well, very careless play, and here's Kevin Crow in all alone momentarily. Very careless play by Gene Woolrich that you don't normally see, resulting in that second Cleveland.
Exactly, Kevin. He's very adept at midfield. Rarely, if ever, gives up a ball like that.
There's Louis Nanshaw for Hoskevy. Hoskevy has it blocked by Crow. There wasn't much Gorsuch could do, in fairness to him. He did what he could. That ball was going to be a goal unless a miracle occurred.
Because Allen was one-on-one with Jim Gorsuch, and he was at the red line, Kevin, unmarked.
No contest. Daly has it poked away by James. Christensen for Cleveland. Here's Louis Nanshaw. Locked in front. Hoskevy couldn't get a hold of it. Crow was able to deflect it. Michael Kahn knocks it over the glass, and it'll belong to San Diego with 6:53 left in the half. 3-2 the Sockers. Goals by Perez, Dana, and Segota for San Diego. Nanshaw and Allen for Cleveland. Kevin Slayton, Bill McDermott. Glad you're with us. Soccer Sports Arena here in San Diego. The Sockers have made this their private home. There's an obvious handball, and it'll go against Cleveland.
Bill Maxwell says, let's have it back where the foul occurred and get on with it.
Segota couldn't get to it. Michael Kahn has it deflect back, and Vaccaro will play it out of there. Sobieski out with that cracked finger. Zoltan Toth for San Diego out with a broken finger. Contagious for the goalkeepers. Surprised it doesn't happen more. Louis Nanshaw with those great skills in front, but it's broken up. Good job by Schmetzer. Oh, Segota would have had a breakaway had James not deflected it. And now James knocks Segota down, and it'll be a foul down in the Cleveland end, but it will not be a 2-minute penalty.
Bernie James there, Kevin, the last man back with Bronson Segota. Watch it again. After the ball was laid off by Segota, he's clearly fouled there by number 20, Bernie James. So a dangerous situation now for the Sockers. Whenever they have possession and they have a dead ball, they can be very potent.
3-2 the Sockers. Collier will not do much with that. He gives it away, in fact, and here comes the Force. James trying to go through 3 and does a pretty good job of it. He lays some lumber in the process on Brian Quinn. He's like a runaway freight train. Hoskevy gets knocked flying by Collier. Hoskevy's to the turf. Jay Hoffman is really laying it on Billy Maxwell, the referee.
And well, he should. It was an unbelievable charge from the back. Oskabee laying over now. Jay Hoffman is giving Bill Maxwell a piece of his mind, and I think justifiably so, Kevin. That was really a ferocious tackle.
Well, he's missed 2 calls tonight that were about as obvious as can be, and they occurred right in front of him on both occasions.
Well, earlier on, he missed the foul that Bernie James did. Now, watch this tackle. Hello, in the back, number 3, Gary Collier, fouling Kai Oskabee. Oskabee trying to do his job as a forward, protect the ball with his body, and Collier just makes a length of the floor run at him. And knocks him squarely in the back. Being attended to by the trainer, Aaron Galpert.
It doesn't appear to be the knee that he had the surgery on, and I guess if you're looking for a bright spot, that's the silver lining. But nonetheless, he's still down. Well, you just wonder how somebody, when it happens in front of you, can miss that. But he did. 3-2, the Sockers leading the force with 5:51 left in the first half. And Oskabee hasn't moved since he went down.
As soon as the first foul occurs, Kevin, the play has to be stopped immediately, and the foul called and/or the play penalized. You can't allow any of this nonsense to creep into the game.
And that's exactly what it is, and it's been going on since the opening whistle when Furphy threw the elbow, got away with it. And now the bill comes due against Oskabee, and Collier got away with it.
Well, this is usually how it occurs, Kevin. One team gets away with a foul, and then the player from the team who got away with the foul, the next player that has the ball, he'll be charged or fouled. And Oskabee was unfortunately the next man to touch the ball for the Cleveland Force. So 5:51 remaining in the first half. The Sockers still on top by a score of 3-2, excuse me. And as you mentioned, Oskabee has not moved since he was fouled earlier on.
He's got an ice pack now. I don't know if it's on his shoulder or his ribs. Not a good sign for the Force, who just finally got everybody healthy a couple of weeks ago. Oskabee being the most important of that injured crew, and now he's going down again.
He seems to really be hurting, Kevin.
Jay Hoffman and Benny Dargle helping him up. Remind you that hockey will be in the spotlight here on Sports Time tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, Stanley Cup highlights. Then at 7:30 Eastern, the action and excitement of live college action, Michigan and Michigan State, as Oskabee is helped to the bench. The Spartans consider one of the best teams in the country this year. Stanley Cup highlights at 7 Eastern time, live college hockey, Michigan, Michigan State, 7:30 Eastern time, tomorrow night, right here on Sports Time. Well, we'll try to get word from the Cleveland bench as to the extent of that injury to Kai Oskabee. But if he does not return, they just are not the same team without him.
There you see the flying fin, number 12, Kai Oskabee, but unfortunately, he won't be flying for a while.
And now the foul called against San Diego. Going to even things up in a hurry. Craig Allen down in the corner. Back for Furphy. Keith Furphy open, and it's blocked by Collier. It got him in the head, I believe. Perez in tight quarters. Gets it to Schmetzer, who just clears it to midfield.
The Los Angeles Lakers continue to keep pressure on the San Diego Sockers with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. They're leading the Las Vegas Americans by a score of 3-1.
Well, that Las Vegas team is a puzzle. All of the talent that they have. Vaccaro comes out to clear it away from Segota. He almost gave it to Cha-Cha Namdar, who would have had an open net. Sweeney now to midfield for Cleveland with 5 minutes left in the half. Little Mike Sweeney plays with that heavily bandaged left wrist, left arm. Segota goes around Dargle. Meffam chasing after him, and a whistle and a foul call in midfield.
Here's the play again. Benny Dargle fouling Bronco Segota. But on the ensuing play, the Sockers retained the possession, and that's why they were questioning the foul.
Cha-Cha Namdar. Dargle knocks it away momentarily, but Segota gets it. Furphy helping out. Cha-Cha pokes it wide, and Vaccaro sprawls to catch it on the rebound. Here's Sweeney. Allen behind the defense. Great pass to Allen. Turning on Crow. He pokes it up to Dargle, and he scores! Well, just as gifted as the play that San Diego scored on was this one for Cleveland.
Equally as nice, Kevin. Great job by Craig Allen. He does it so well. Bodies off the last defender. Now, while he's doing all this work, Kevin, Benny Dargle makes a run into all the open space, overlaps out of the back. Again, the beauty of having an attacker and come out of your defense. Here's Craig Allen. Lovely defense-splitting ball. Finds Benny Dargle unmarked at the far post. He runs in, out of the back, scores, and equalizes for the visiting Cleveland Force.
Jimmy Gorsuch, the San Diego goalkeeper, looking on, and it's too bad they don't give 2 assists, because Mike Sweeney deserved one, certainly for the pinpoint pass he made to Craig Allen to set the whole play up.
Again, Kevin, it all starts in the back. A quick counter by the Force.
Boy, and very nearly Wilrich scored at the other end. Vaccaro still shaking his head. He took the brunt of that shot. The Force trying to counter very quickly again. Clavillo down there in the corner, and the push called against Ward. I'd like to see them give 2 assists sometimes, and sometimes they shouldn't give any. They seem stuck on one all the time, whether it's deserved or not. In this case, certainly 2 assists were deserved. Jungle with a great pass for Wilrich, and a fine save by Vaccaro. He took a foot in the chest in the process.
What a beautiful ball by Jungle from midfield this time, Kevin. He showed up at midfield, then a defense-splitting pass, almost found Wilrich unmarked.
Louis Lanchoff with some more fine work. Christensen gets knocked down, and the triple go against Katakalitis.
There's a good call by referee Charles Kabrichin, quickly making the foul, not allowing any play to continue.
Ward's pass for Christensen was too far. So Dargle's 4th goal of the year has tied it up. Cleveland's done a good job of coming back after a 3-1 deficit.
They really have, and now coming on to take Kioski's place, that man there, number 8, Peter Ward.
His shot wide, and so is Christensen's follow. Louis Lanchoff, however, keeps it alive for the Force. Boy, he's very good individually, isn't he?
He really is, Kevin. I mentioned to you in one of our earlier telecasts when he played for the United States Olympic team. He played a game at SIU Everettsville in Illinois, and he single-handedly went through every defender in Costa Rica's team.
Saw Brian Quinn shooting from midfield. Here's Jungle, gets a bad bounce off the boards. Quinn didn't hesitate. He saw Vaccaro out of his net and tried to loop it over, but he nearly did.
It almost worked. I mentioned Quinn, so valuable, making these runs out of the back and from midfield.
Michael Kahn deflected it over the glass. Daly had snuck in behind him on the right wing. So with 2.5 minutes left in the half, it remains tied at 3.
One of the key things that players like Craig Allen and Steve Jungle give you, not just with their goal-scoring abilities, Kevin, is the fact that they can use their body to protect the ball so well. And with that, they allow their teammates to make runs off the ball while they're standing on top of the ball, seemingly stopping the action. Everybody is making runs, and they're so talented they can lay the ball off into an open space. It's very productive on offense.
Keith Furphy in midfield now with Sweeney. Craig Allen. He has a goal and an assist. Furphy's shot goes high.
Another situation I was just talking about it. Allen doesn't really like to go into corners and dig and fight for balls like that. It's a lot of wear and tear on your forwards, but he did his job, held off his defender, he had the chance to lay it across the face of the goal for Furphy, who was unmarked.
Gorsuch looking for some help, finally gets it. Schmetzer trying to move out of his own end, but he lays it for Collier. Gary Collier for the Sockers.
Zoltan Toth is back in uniform tonight, Kevin. His first game since he was injured earlier on December 15th against the same Force team.
Jungle with a great steal, but he couldn't get the ball down on a 3-on-2 and a 3-line violation here against Cleveland, but Dennis Meffin did such a good job. Very quickly, the Sockers restarted. Wilrich for Jungle, back to Wilrich, and knocked away again by Meffin. Playing great defensive work now, and really dogging Wilrich. Dargle fighting Jungle off nicely and was able to poke it away. And here comes Allen. Knocked down by Wilrich, and that'll be the pushing foul. Just the third against the Sockers here in the second quarter. Cleveland with 4 fouls against them.
Here's the play again. Good job. Good running by Craig Allen. Changing speeds. He's fouled from behind by Gene Wilrich.
Here is Jungle on that pass from Dana. Jungle working on Sweeney, and Sweeney takes it away. Jungle wanted the foul, but did not get it.
Didn't get it and shouldn't have got it. Good defense by Mike Sweeney. Simply outran him to the ball, Kevin.
He did get the fans riled, didn't he?
Oh, he's a trademark for doing that.
Minute left in the half. Cleveland pressing the action. Here's Furphy, but Crow knocks it away, but he gives it to Dargle. Furphy again. Kicked it right at Crow that time. Tommy Christensen is the force, trying to take the lead into the locker room very impressively once they fell 2 goals behind, and the Sockers went into a lull. Craig Allen with a shot that goes wide. Furphy keeping it alive with 30 seconds left. A drive that Gorsuch has to go to the knees to catch. Great outlet for Kaz Dana. 2 on 3 with Jungle. Oh, Michael Kahn nearly knocked it in.
Tremendous ball out of the back by Jim Gorsuch to immediately find Kaz Dana unmarked, and he went right at that last defender. Halftime score, Kevin, the Lasers, Los Angeles Lasers, on top of the Las Vegas Americans by a score of 4-1. So no rest for the San Diego Sockers. The Lasers are right behind them. That's the hands of Ron Newman.
And he's called timeout on the floor with 18 seconds left. He'll diagram something here for their last good scoring opportunity of the half. All tied at 3 apiece. Jay Hoffman, on the other hand, in Timo Lukowski's absence, will be exhorting the force. Just hold on, guys. Let's get to the locker room here. Boy, Los Angeles has really kept on the pressure all year long, haven't they?
They really have, Kevin. And what an absolute turnaround in that franchise. Their first year, they're 8-40. And people think, well, Peter Wall will totally dismantle that team. He didn't. He kept pretty much the same squad. Last year they were a 500 club, and now they're really clearly one of the better teams in the league, playing some very attractive soccer and winning in the process.
A lot has to be said for people playing together for a couple of years.
Peter Wall was steadfast. That's right, Kevin. He said, I got some good talented players here, a nucleus of some sound attackers and some good defenders. Just give us some time. They weren't really accustomed to playing indoor soccer. They've acquitted themselves nicely.
Quinn, the trigger man to Perez, blocked. Dargle did a good job. Quinn at midfield, but there's only 12 seconds left in the half. So they'll have to hurry if they're going to put one home here before halftime. 5 seconds, they're still at their own red line. They won't even get a shot on goal. And there's the horn. That ends the first half from the Sports Arena here in San Diego, California. The Cleveland Force 3, the San Diego Sockers 3. We're at halftime here at the San Diego Sports Arena. The Cleveland Force and the San Diego Sockers all knotted at 3 apiece. A couple of interesting things taking place in this first half, Bill. Some beautiful goals by both teams, but how long can Cleveland hang on without Kai Hoskevy? He's injured again, his shoulder this time on that collision, and I mean collision from Gary Collier.
Exactly, Kevin. That's a good question because they were in top form earlier on this year, and Kai Hoskevy had arthroscopic knee surgery first part of December, and as he was injured and Craig Allen were injured, so also their team went on a downward slant. They've been back upwards now because Hoskevy is playing well. He's back in form along with Craig Allen. It's a very gifted player to take out of your lineup, but as you mentioned, some lovely goals scored in that first half by both clubs.
San Diego jumped to a 3-1 lead, but Cleveland won't quit. On the road here in San Diego, they battled back to a tie.
And that's a tribute to that very talented Cleveland Forest team. They will not die. Seemingly when they're out of it, they'll get back into things with their own brand of a counterattacking soccer. Greg Allen doing a nice job of bodying off defenders. All his defenders are coming forward and helping on the attack. And they're right back into this game. It's 3 each at halftime.
All right, we'll see if the Force can hang on without Hoskevy, and we'll try to get word from the Cleveland locker room as to his status. Tied at 3 at halftime. Back here here at the Sports Arena in San Diego, California at halftime, all tied at 3 apiece. The Force and the Sockers, Kevin Slayton along with Bill McDermott. And we've just been entertained here at halftime. Unfortunately, too bad you folks couldn't see it because a group known as the Skip-Its out there jumping a rope in all kinds of ways that I've never seen before. Really put on quite a show.
They were tremendous.
You never get a chance to see them in your hometown because they travel site to site and perform at halftime at various events. They are indeed very good.
They really, if you have a chance to see the Skip-Its, don't skip it.
Hello? There are the statistics from the first half. Any interesting sights in there, Bill?
Well, I think the key thing is, Kevin, the fact that it's still 3-3. The Cleveland Force, we talked about it during our halftime break, seemingly out of the game a couple times in the first and second quarters because of the quick ball possession play by the San Diego Sockers. They're very adept at that, in particular here at home. Their fans are very appreciative of their skills, and they don't hesitate to entertain them. Players like Hugo Perez and Jungle and Kaz Dana and Brian Quinn running on the back. They're very adept at the quick, high-speed game. Cleveland Force, on the other hand, equally adept at doing some similar things. The high-speed build-up by the Force somewhat absent in the waning stages of the second quarter simply because of the absence of Kai Oskavy, but Craig Allen doing a nice job with players like Newey Lanchoff and Keith Murphy and Benny Dargle, who consistently has been a talented performer for this Force squad, making runs out of the back. We've said it so many times before, Kevin, it means so much when your team has defenders who can attack, and not just attack, score goals as well. So fortunately for the Force, they're still level at halftime.
But they are without Kai Oskavy, who injured a shoulder in that tackle by Collier and left the field with ice on the shoulder. We'll wait and see if he returns. But that is a big blow to the Cleveland Force, especially when they've had so many injuries. Get everybody healthy, and then all of a sudden, boom, it happens again. Here's the first goal of the game. Louis Nanchoff.
The San Diego Sockers just standing with their hands on their sides, saying, how did that happen so quickly? The home side Sockers immediately come back and equalize. A beautiful ball by Dana. First time pass across the face of the goal by Segota. There's Hugo Perez back in the good graces of Coach Ron Newman, equalizing for the home side Sockers. That's first of one of the many attractive goals. Now watch this individual brilliance by number 20, Branko Segota. A Canadian Olympic team player, plays for his national side as well. Across the face of the goal, in the process, draws 3 defenders, including the keeper, and Kaz Dana puts it in the back of the net for a 2-1 lead for the San Diego Sockers. Beautiful work by Branko Segota. That was some lovely stuff.
As the teams return to the field, that second goal you saw there was the power play goal, the only power play goal of the first half, and that came from Perez. And an interesting tactic employed by Ron Newman, in which he took the goalkeeper out and played with a 7th man or a 6th attacker. And in effect, they had a 2-man advantage, and it certainly paid quick dividends. I'm wondering why more teams don't do that, Bill.
Well, he was simply of the mind, Kevin, he did not want to get back behind this game by any more than 1 goal. Back to some taped action now, some highlights from the first half. Here's Branko Segota again, drawing those 1, 2, 3 defenders, Kevin. Then it's across the face of the goal to Kaz Dana. That made it 3-1, and they were seemingly on top of the game at that time. However, Dennis Mepham wins a ball, a careless pass across the face of action by Gene Wilrich. Jim Gorsuch tries to combat Craig Allen for the 50-50 ball. Can't quite do so. And then it was 3-2. Good work by Dennis Mepham, alertly finding Craig Allen unmarked at the red line.
And actually, Gorsuch did a good job. He just got a bad bounce there, as I looked at on the replay. The ball just came up to Allen. And it came up perfectly, and he knew what to do with it once it came to him. Ron Newman looking on as we get set to start the second half, and we're underway from the Sports Arena. There's Oskavy, so apparently that shoulder injury is not going to keep him off the field.
We've just been told, Kevin, that he is expected to play, and obviously he is. He's out there again, taking his normal shift. Sore arm and a sore knee. Fortunately for the Force, however, not the knee that was recently operated on.
And not severe enough to keep him out of the game. That's the good news. You don't want the more talented players in the league sitting on the bench with injuries.
And he still plays international soccer, Kevin, does number 12, Kai Oskavy. He represented his country, Finland. They played England in a World Cup qualifying match. They lost by a score of 5-0. But the mere fact that he's still representing his country is due testimony to his skills.
Dana nearly had himself an open shot, but Oskavy gathers in the loose ball. Long lead pass for Tommy Christensen. That left foot is dangerous. He knocks Gorsuch down, and it's a good thing that Clavillo was standing there because Louis Nanchoff was right behind him, and that ball was hit so hard that Gorsuch just never could field it cleanly.
It really was given defense by self-defense, if you will, but the ball was slotted very nicely by Kai Oskabee deep out of his own zone. He's got a bruised left knee and a bruised right forearm. He's back in action.
Steve Jungle, who hasn't scored neither an assist or a goal, has been shut out tonight. But you get the feeling that his name will be in the scoring column before it's over. Dana for Namdar. There is Jungle. Just underway in the second half. Jungle's going to take Michael Kahn on, and Vaccaro makes a big save. Christensen headmans into Hoskabee at midfield.
Well, there you see, Kevin, how quick Jungle can be. That all-important, quick first step, explosiveness to get off that dead track stop.
Louis Nanchoff through 2 defenders, and he stripped. Clavillo took him down, but what a great move by Nanchoff.
Some more beautiful moves by number 13, Louis Nanchoff, one-on-one with that last defender. He never hesitates to go one-on-one, especially when he has a chance to go at that last defender.
His shot is deflected, goes over the glass. I believe it was deflected. We'll wait and see. I thought I heard it too. They're going to give it to San Diego.
Well, it hit something, and it wasn't midair.
Jim Gorsuch, the San Diego goalkeeper, an 8-5 record for Gorsuch, and played mostly because Holton Toth had that fractured finger. But as you mentioned, Toth is on the way back.
Barely over a 4.00 goals against average for Jim Gorsuch, so that's very respectable in this league, Kevin. With all the high-powered offenses that you're facing night after night.
And the Sockers are certainly a team known more for their offense than their defense. Playing in front of you, although they're pretty stupid defensive group. They'll put it in the net more often than that. Long pass into the corner for Quinn, using the boards well, but Sweeney knocked him off momentarily. Now it's loose in front. Dargle nearly got careless. Segota off the boards, nobody home. And Vaccaro looks for the outlet, but he gives it away. Katakalitis knocks it ahead to Quinn, and here's Bronco Segota. I thought he was going to tee it up, Bill.
I did too, Kevin. He was looking like he was going right at Chris Vaccaro.
Perez, but Vaccaro gets up high in front of Segota. And here's the outlet for Craig Allen.
And that was the key to that play that he didn't accomplish in the prior play. He gave it to Allen on his protected side so he could keep the ball away from the defender with his body.
The Force regrouping in midfield. 12:05 left in the third quarter of a 3-3 game. Betham off the boards, but nobody's there for Cleveland. Now Hugo Perez sees some room.
Good job by Perez, Kevin, there to make himself available for the pass, go forward, and then regroup and keep possession so they can restart the attack.
Katakalitis playing there with a sprained ankle. That's really hobbled in the last 5 games. That's probably one of the more difficult injuries to play with, Bill, because it just bugs you the whole time you're out there.
Pretty much so, Kevin. It's pretty much cut and dry. That's an injury you just have to take time to rehabilitate.
As Dana with a rifle shot that Vaccaro fields. Made it look easy, but that shot was headed for the corner. He just had it played right. So there, it passed from Sweeney, intended for Furphy, who wasn't moving to the ball very well. Brian Quinn now for the Sockers. Schmetzer inside the red line.
Brian Quinn does a lot of work for the San Diego Sockers, Kevin. Attacks well, defends very nicely. Segota scoring all due to his famed quick release. Here it is again. Chris Vaccaro seemingly having this covered at the near post. Bronco Segota. It's pure and simple, Kevin. It was too difficult to judge the pace of the ball, and he put it right past the keeper.
You could see it coming from a mile away. You knew just what he was going to do, and that was score. 4-3, San Diego in the lead. 10:55 left, third quarter. We'll be back after this. 4-3, the Sockers, by virtue of Segota's second goal of the night, is 22nd of the year. I think he's an underrated player, not by the players and coaches in the league, but you just don't hear of him because he's always played with Jungle.
Exactly, Kevin. And as you mentioned, he is so talented, a gifted goal scorer, very adept passing the ball, and gets himself into positions where it's easy to accomplish both things, to score and to pass the ball. He doesn't stand. He runs nicely, gets into open spaces.
There is Jungle in midfield, and his pass is too far for Wilrich.
And when Segota doesn't feel like running, he'll make up for a multitude of sins with that cannon-like right and left foot.
So Cleveland finds themselves back in the hole. They've been behind all night ever since they scored first. San Diego tied at 1-1, and they haven't trailed since. Led by as many as 2, and they enjoy the 4-3 lead here now. Here is Jungle working on James, but Bernie James knocks it away successfully. Kai Hoskevy is left unguarded. If Cleveland can intercept the ball, and they did, but the trip was called against James, and he took Jungle down ferociously.
Tripping from behind on number 20, Bernie James. Jungle, watch here again, Kevin, stationing himself nicely as a target man. You don't have to be a referee to make that call. Clearly a foul, number 20, Bernie James.
Very dangerous situation for San Diego here. Jungle leaves it for Perez, and that shot blocked by Michael Kahn. They didn't do much with it.
No, they didn't, and you can be assured that Hugo Perez did not want that ball on his right foot.
Clavillo with a pass for Crow, intercepted by Bernie James with a full head of steam. Louis Lanshoff, it deflects wide of him. Perez did a good job to hustle back. Here's Jungle working against Michael Kahn. And Kahn is called.
Michael Kahn there not showing a great degree of calm, Kevin.
I can't believe that Billy Maxwell let that go by. He must be in a good mood and just let everything go. Jungle slaps the ball at the glass right in front of him. Well, you got to put a muzzle on that stuff early in the game, or that's what happens.
I was about to say, Kevin, that last play, Michael Kahn, he wanted no part of Steve Jungle one-on-one, so he simply cleared the ball out of bounds.
Clavillo has to retreat. Jungle calling for it from Collier, but Collier's not going to give it to him. Jungle all the way out to midfield. Now the pass deflected by Furphy. And one thing's for sure, when Jungle's in midfield, if you're the defensive team, that's right where you want him. You don't want him getting the ball down low. Craig Allen working on Collier, but he's not getting much help. Now Dargle comes up. Dargle shot well high of the mark and over the glass. It'll belong to the Sockers. 8:47 left in the quarter. 4-3 San Diego.
You saw Craig Allen motioning to Benny Dargle, Kevin, that I didn't do all that work for you to knock it well over the crossbar like that.
Yeah. Nice guy. Benny Dargle has a big goal tonight.
And Timo Liakovsky and Jay Hoffman have been very happy with his offensive output, Kevin. He's a good and talented defender. And it's always helpful when he can come forward and help on the offense.
Jungle now has it at the red line. And his pass is intercepted. But Kaz Dana gets it. Tries to get it ahead for Jungle, but there were 3 blue jerseys in there, and there wasn't much chance of that one getting through, and the force come away as they try to tie this game up again. Keith Furphy and Allen, Sweeney, Meffam, Dargle out there for Cleveland right now. Here's Allen. Allen with a shot wide. He hit the post, the rebound, and Gorsuch saves it.
Good work there between Dennis Meffam coming out of the back. Craig Allen showing up as the target man, turning and shooting on goal, and on the rebound, Meffam almost scored.
Segota for Kaz Dana. Dana has it in front, down to Segota. Boy, this has been a deadly combination all night. Here's Segota once more. You know, when you watch Segota from up here, he looks a lot like Steve Petcher physically.
He does pretty much same dimensions, Kevin. Very good ball skills with the ball, in particular for a forward in a close, tight situation.
But you begin to see the difference when you see them both shoot. And that's nothing against Steve Petcher. He'll be the first to tell you. And here, I thought we were going to see another one from Segota, but Sweeney's able to take it away. Quinn and Dana playing with it. Sweeney nearly had a steal. Schmetzer now for Segota. Dargle does a good job to take it away, and the Force come away with it. The trip, in fact, is going to go against Segota. That was creative.
Free throws for Breachin, whistling up in favor of the Cleveland Force.
Here's Craig Allen again on Clavillo. A shot. Gorsuch got a piece of it, gave up the rebound, and nearly paid for it. How many times you get burned giving up rebounds, but that ball was hit at him so hard from such a close range, he didn't have much choice. Christensen leaves Hugo Perez on the carpet, and here come the Force now. Betham on the left wing for Furphy. His return pass too far. Dargle for the Force. Vaccaro doesn't get much on that ball, and now he better get back into goal, because here they come, and it's knocked away by Dargle. Benny Dargle's done a very good job tonight. 6:10 left, third quarter. San Diego 4, Cleveland 3. Back here at the Sports Arena in San Diego, 4-3, the Sockers over the Force. Kevin Slayton and Bill McDermott, glad you could be with us.
I don't know if we're back for a soccer game or a dance.
Hugo Perez, he scores!
I mentioned earlier, Kevin, number 18, Hugo Perez, out of Coach Ron Newman's doghouse. Playing very well this evening. The talented left winger, here he is, hits it first time, a beautiful ball right into his path. Chris Vaccaro seemingly had the ball covered at the near post. You never want to see your keeper beaten at the near post like that, but nonetheless, that's what just occurred. 5-3, the Sockers go on top.
Gene Wilrich gets the assist for Perez, his second goal of the night, his 4th of the year. So 2 for Perez and 2 for Segota today. Here comes Wilrich. Jungle's going to hurry and help him fill the lane. 2-on-1. Here's Jungle. Back for Wilrich. Good job by Christensen. Well, for once, Jungle should have shot.
Exactly, Kevin. And as you pointed out so accurately, tremendous work by Tommy Christensen. He realized his last defender was caught 2-on-1, sped back, and helped out on defense.
Christensen off the glass. Here's Wilrich again. Jungle really fills that lane in a hurry when he sees a goal-scoring opportunity, doesn't he? His eyes lit up like spotlights. Here's Wilrich. He scores!
Well, Chris Vaccaro, Kevin, came off his line, and when you come off your line like that, you better do one of two things. Either get the ball or take the man out of the play. He did neither, and the ball went right through his legs. Good ball by Gene Wilrich to run it down, run on to the ball, and put it through the legs of Chris Vaccaro inside the near post, and don't they erupt quickly.
For Wilrich, his 18th. Crow gets the assist. It's a 6-3 game for the Sockers. And in fairness to Vaccaro, he's not getting much help back there.
He isn't. You see Gene Wilrich mentioning, Kevin, he said, I'll score goals like that all night long if you put it into the space so that I can run onto it. He did a very nice job of finishing off. That was the key. He finished very effectively.
Sweeney keeps it alive for Cleveland. Now Dargle. They're going to really have to press the attack, and when that happens, you can look for counterattacks from San Diego that are so dangerous. Murphy shot blocked, and here they come. Dana and Jungle. Jungle looking for somebody to pass it to, and now he hits the deck as he took it into the corner. Intercepted momentarily by Quinn, but Sweeney gets it ahead for Murphy.
Jay Hoffman told me before the game, Kevin, that if you want to beat San Diego at home, or for that matter anywhere, you have to prevent them counterattacking. That's how they scored 2 or 3 goals here this evening.
Craig Allen, this is Sweeney. There's Allen in the corner. Clavillo knocks it away. And the Sockers come away with it again. Well, 4 minutes left still in the third quarter. By no means is this high-powered Cleveland ball club out of the game, but it's getting to look that way if they don't change things. And that's going to be a 2-minute penalty against Sweeney. What a foolish, foolish penalty.
Oh, that's a very severe foul on number 6, Mike Sweeney. Uncustomarily, he takes Kaz Dana down at midfield. That's a very dangerous foul. He should be cautioned for that tackle.
Brian Quinn starts to play. Watch this. Danik, oh! As a matter of fact, he could face ejection for a foul like that. That is really a severe foul. He clearly went over the top of the ball, perhaps out of frustration, but nonetheless, that's a really dangerous foul.
Dana is up. There is Sweeney. No, he's not that type of player.
No, he really isn't. It's very uncustomary for Mike Sweeney to take a player down like that at midfield.
So now let's see if Ron Newman pulls the goalkeeper again.
When you slide with both feet like that, Kevin, going over the top of the ball, you threaten a player's career.
Well, he's going to leave Gorsuch in there. He's got a 3-goal lead. Why take chances? Cleveland's power play killing unit has not been good anyway, so you got a good shot at scoring just with one-man advantage. Well, when you're giving up 1 out of every 2 power plays against you, a goal, you're in trouble. There's a drive, and Vaccaro jumped in front of it. Boy, Quinn really hit it.
Really did it. He wasted no time, Kevin. Hit it first time, a ball laid across the face of the goal.
Quinn again for Segota, but the foul in the corner will go against Cleveland.
Tripping foul whistled up on Bernie James. Let's watch the play again. Gene Woolrich lays it off for Quinn. There's the shot. Chris Vaccaro almost screened. He was nearly unsighted, but a good save. He rebounded very nicely right at the end of that last shot by Quinn.
Jungle's shot blocked by Dargle. Quinn on one wing and Segota on the other. Perez and Jungle down low with Woolrich spearheading the attack out front. A minute left in the penalty. There's Jungle for Perez. He scores! The hat trick for Hugo.
If you want a textbook example of how to work the man advantage, you just saw it. Jungle, the ball out of the back, lays it off. First time, Perez runs onto it, side foots it into the net. That's his 3rd of the evening, 7th for the 4th. Again, it starts in the back. Woolrich to Jungle. Jungle laid across the face of the goal for Hugo Perez. That's beautiful stuff by the home side, San Diego Sockers.
And Jungle is not shut out. What a nifty pass.
What a great ball, Kevin, by Gene Woolrich to start the attack.
Cleveland hasn't had many scoring opportunities lately. San Diego's really starting to dominate this game.
They really have, Kevin. This is very similar to where the San Diego Sockers took apart the St. Louis Steamers back here at the Sports Arena on December 15th.
They'll take you apart in a hurry. When they get on a roll, and they're on one now. 4 goals in this quarter. And a 7-3 lead. It was tied at halftime. Here's Jungle. Bernie James hustling, and he knocked Jungle flying as the ball goes over the glass. And the foul called against James.
Justifiably so. Made no intention to play the ball.
He had one thing in mind when he started after Jungle. Jungle, I'm sure he'll continue, but getting up very slowly. He doesn't want to go off. And he doesn't go off very often. And neither has Segota tonight.
There's number 7, Steve Jungle. His barber's been out of town.
Spencer into the corner for Jungle. Good move by Katakalidis. Sprained ankle and all. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter of a 7-3 game. San Diego in command. Sockers trying to keep first place in the West. Leaded by a half game over LA coming into tonight's action, and the Lasers are winning against Las Vegas.
Vegas, however, has come back, Kevin. They're only 1 goal down. It's 4-3 now in the 3rd quarter in favor of the Blazers.
Well, you start to wonder, Bill, as we come upon the end of the 3rd quarter, at what point does Jay Hoffman pull his goalkeeper in that 4th quarter? You're down 4 against this team. Jungle and James having at it at midfield, and Jungle's called for this foul.
And it certainly doesn't get any easier for the Force, Kevin. They have a very difficult road trip ahead of them here on the West Coast. They play Los Angeles and Las Vegas.
Michael Kahn with a low shot that was deflected twice. Katakalaitis gets it in the corner.
Force plays the Las Vegas Americans Saturday night, then Monday night they play the Los Angeles Lasers. Very difficult road trip.
Kaz Dana head for Wilrich again. Jungle coming with him. Good job by Bernie James that time.
Now there's a great sliding tackle by Bernie James. Very nicely done.
Boy, they're attacking 2-on-1 every time you look up. And Cleveland's been giving it away a lot, just like that. Cha-Cha Namdar to Kevin Crowe. He's wide open. 3-on-2 this time. Oh, how about Dana to Jungle for the goal? And Jungle rubs salt in the wound.
I've seen Cleveland beaten before, but I've never seen them taken apart like this. Great stuff by the San Diego Sockers. Kevin Crowe starts it all. As you mentioned, Kevin, he could start it all because he was left unmarked. Watch that cheeky little back heel by Dana. Takes two players out of it. Jungle at the far post just simply side foots it into the goal. An 8-3 lead for the Sockers. Once again, they explode.
You could make a case for Dana being the best player in the league, and you wouldn't get any argument from me.
You certainly wouldn't, Kevin. What a talented player he is. He's made more international appearances in his native Poland than any other player. He's very talented. He's done so many things in the world of international soccer. Now he's come to the major indoor soccer league, and he's really revolutionized their attack here in San Diego.
Jungle with his 33rd goal, and there's a problem over on the Cleveland bench. Some of the fans getting a little bit carried away, I believe, and they've called some extra security down there.
Well, Cleveland's Nick Gorsick flights the ball deep out of his own end, looking for Steve Jungle. Bernie James going over the top. Jungle and James battling. And I think Steve Jungle was looking for an Academy Award nomination, but it's too late. They've already been made.
Back to the live action, 8-3 San Diego. And here come the Sockers again. Bailey off the board. Segota looking up, knows he has 6 seconds. And a nice play by Sweeney. And that should kill the third quarter. And it does. The horn sounds, and what an outburst by the Sockers. 5 goals in the third quarter for San Diego. And they lead after 3 periods, 8-3. Here's Draghi. He hits it high. And here they come with a 2-on-1. Segota and Jungle. Great pass to Jungle.
Oh. The definition of a counterattack.
That's the 500th goal of his career. They're on their feet here in San Diego.
Number 7, Steve Jungle, scoring his 500th, as Kevin just mentioned. Brilliant work between him and Branko Segota.
'84 on Sports Time. What a great year for the class of '84.
The Sockers lead the Force as we head into the fourth quarter here in San Diego. The MISL's Season of Excitement continuing Sunday afternoon here on Sports Time at 3 Eastern Time. The New York Cosmos and the St. Louis Steamers from the arena in St. Louis. Live Major Indoor Soccer League action this Sunday right here on Sports Time. Kevin Slayton and Bill McDermott, glad you could join us tonight. And what an explosion by the Sockers in that third period. Segota, Perez, Wilrich, Perez, and Jungle. 5 times they scored, and they've now opened up an 8-3 lead. So the Force really has a mountain to climb heading into this fourth quarter.
They really do, Kevin, but we saw how electrifying the Cleveland Force can be. When they came from behind came from behind to win against the Pittsburgh Spirit two Sundays ago. And Kioski scored with what, 56 seconds remaining?
You know, the third quarter traditionally for San Diego through the season has not been their strongest quarter. The fourth quarter has. So if that's any indication, this really could be a rout. Cleveland's going to have to be very protective of that. That counterattacking San Diego offense has really burned them in the third quarter. Louis Nanchoff, now Hoskevy. Hoskevy tees it up, but it's deflected by Namdar. Might as well shoot it. Nanchoff trying to steal it. And now a whistle and a foul goes against Cleveland.
This Sockers team is so electrifying, Kevin, because they can do so many things, and they do it quickly. And they have confidence in their teammates' abilities in tight situations. They won't hesitate to give it to a man when he's marked.
Segota! Oh, he hit the post. What a pass from Perez, though.
What a beautiful 1-2 between Segota and Perez at top speed.
Would have been the hat trick for Segota. Perez already is wearing the hat tonight. Louis Nanchoff crosses. What a save! Gorsuch, Robin Tarnosi.
Again, a superlative effort by Louis Nanchoff, one-on-one with that last defender. There he is again. Beautiful ball across the face of the goal. And how about that save by Jim Gorsuch?
Down at the other end now. San Diego continues to apply the pressure, but now Bernie James steals it away to Louis Nanchoff. Louis shot whistles wide, and Brian Quinn very quickly to Segota. His pass for Dana is intercepted by Sweeney. Segota's really taken some lengthy turns on the floor tonight. Craig Allen now. Dargle with a low shot, but Gorsuch is able to get in front of that one. Dargle's become an offensive threat tonight.
He really has, Kevin. A very quick release on that ball right there. Again, he got involved in the attack because Craig Allen gave him some time to make his run forward.
8-3 San Diego as they try to hold on to first place in the Western Division.
Dangerous play, whistled up on Mike Sweeney by referee Taros Kabrichin. I don't think it could have possibly been any other call.
But Mike Sweeney does. Kaz Dana. How long is he going to play, Bill?
Well, I'll tell you, he's running like a teenager, isn't he?
He really is. And here he is again. Look at him sprint up there, but he can't hold on to it as Furphy heads back the other way. He's got Sweeney. They're still booing Furphy. Furphy trying to cross it, and that'll bring a roar as Katakalides intercepted it. If you joined us late, Furphy elbowed Brian Quinn early in the game, and it went undetected. And then Brian Quinn was caught for retaliation. And they've been booing Furphy ever since.
I mentioned earlier, Kevin, that Dana is the most capped player. That means he has the most international appearances for any player in Poland's history. And I saw him play in the World Cup in '74 in West Germany. And every time Poland won the ball, their defender's job was to get Dana the ball. Give him the ball and let him start the attack.
And he continues to do it here in San Diego in the indoor game. Gene Wilrich, same type of a player. Boy, is that dangerous? That should cost him. Dana just playing with it now. Wilrich, they took too much time that time. I can't believe Vaccaro came running out of there.
He really did, Kevin. And for one time this evening, they overdid it. The San Diego Sockers did.
Trying to make that perfect pass. With a 5-goal lead, I guess you can try to really be artistic. They're trying to paint a masterpiece to that man. Here's Furphy, and the blues cascade again. Fans have a long memory, don't they? And the foul is called against San Diego.
Foul whistled up on Kevin Crow against Keith Furphy. Kevin Crow, Kevin, another very talented young American player, one of the mainstays of the United States national side.
Hoskevy off the glass. Wilrich loses it. Now Craig Allen with his back to the goal off the glass, but Jungle heads down the rebound, and here comes Wilrich, 2-on-1. Wilrich, he'll take the shot, and Vaccaro makes the save. Jungle crosses it, but nobody's there. Jungle hits that high bouncing ball about as well as anybody I've ever seen. Bill, you never see him hit that ball and it goes up into the crowd.
Exactly, Kevin. He makes solid connections with it on those side volleys. It's a very difficult ball to hit. And as you mentioned, almost everything he hits is on goal.
Here's Daly with open space. Oh, a drive and Vaccaro deflection into the crowd. 10:48 left, 8-3. The Sockers will be back. You'll see some excitement here. San Diego with this restart down in the Cleveland end. Jungle, the trigger man, and Louis Nanchoff able to head it. Well, they didn't do anything with it, but they continue to maintain possession. And they've had it almost the entire second half, Bill.
They really have, Kevin, and in the process, capitalizing on that possession. When you keep possession of the ball as long as the Sockers do, you're going to inevitably score goals.
Peter Ward now for the Force. Ward off the boards, blocked nicely by Clavillo. Force not playing with a whole lot of spirit right now, and that's to be expected after a team scores 5 quick ones off you. Kind of takes the wind out of your sails. But the thing about San Diego is they haven't rested. And here they come again. Perez giving it away in midfield. Doesn't do that too often, does he?
He certainly doesn't, Kevin. He's trying to cut that ball with the outside of his left foot. He's very adept at doing that.
Louis Nanchoff for the Force. Deflected in front, and Gorsuch picks it up very quickly to Segota. One-on-one with Benny Dargle. Segota, he'll tee it up. Dargle did a very good job.
Good job, exactly, Kevin, by Benny Dargle. Not to buy any of those dummies by Bronco Segota. Good ball to the back by Gorsuch. Saw Segota one-on-one with that last defender, but a nice job by Benny Dargle. He didn't dive in and strike too quickly on Segota.
Now Dargle crossing it in front, but it's knocked away by Perez. Ty Hoshkevy keeping it in. Here comes Dargle, and there's one for the 10th row.
Or higher.
9:15 left. We'll be back with more on the Sports Time Cable Network.
Enfoque Nacional.
Namdar, look at Sweeney.
He's running like the game just started.
Here's Dargle as Cleveland maintaining possession now. Mepham into the corner, but Katakalitis will be the first man back. Gorsuch rolls it out for Kevin Crowe. Kaz Dana.
Saw how nicely the Sockers in that last play, Kevin, worked the ball out of their own end very calmly and comfortably.
Cleveland just hasn't had many scoring chances in the second half. Kazmany off the boards, and Gorsuch takes it away there. And the reason they haven't is because San Diego's been putting the ball in the net all night in the second half.
And when they haven't done that, Kevin, they've been keeping possession of it, denying the ball from the Cleveland Force.
Craig Allen trying to split the two defenders, doesn't do it, and here comes Chacha Namdar for San Diego, 3-on-3. Good play again by Mepham.
Good sliding tackle by Dennis Mepham to win the ball, then start the attack.
Fine defender he is. And the push called against San Diego. Good job of acting by Allen, wasn't that? Katakalitis is saying the same thing.
Here's the play again. Eli Kazmany out of the back. And Craig Allen is knocked over by Katakalitis.
Pushed him enough.
Oh, yeah.
7:42 remaining. 8-3 San Diego. Murphy for Bernie James, high off the glass. Kazmany keeps it alive. Keith Murphy, the Iron Man of the MISL, setting the new record tonight with his 162nd consecutive appearance. Gorsuch very quickly to Segota again, working on Bernie James. And a tripping foul against James.
Bronco Segura says, would you watch the fouling by Bernie James? Bill Maxwell says, I got control of it.
There's another nice read by Meffin, who's tripped the bodies everywhere at midfield.
2 minutes. Has to be a 2-minute foul on Brian Quinn.
Well, Kaz Dana doesn't usually make a bad pass, but he made one there. He told everybody in the stadium he was going to do that, and Meffin read it well, and then Quinn sure hit the deck hard. Craig Allen knocks him down from behind.
Uncustomary giveaway by Kaz Dana on that dead ball. But Dennis Mepp very alert to the situation. That's what Timo Liakowski and Jay Hoffman really like about Dennis Mepham, Kevin. That's why one of the main reasons you haven't been seeing Brett Hall so much. Mepham, a good, solid defender, and he comes forward. He gives a new dimension to their attack out of the back.
Anticipates so well. Furphy, a drive deflected. Now Nenchoff hits it high off the glass. Hoskevy can't get it. Gene Wilrich flicking it off the boards, but Kazmany wins the race to the ball. So the force on the power play for 2 minutes. See if they can generate some offensive opportunities now. Furphy moving in again, crossing it in front, but it's deflected once more. And Clavillo for San Diego. In heavy traffic, loses the ball to Allen, a shot wide of the net. Kazmany for Louis Nenchoff on the right wing. There's Hoskevy in the corner. Kai Hoskevy. Well, you don't see many shots on a power play, Bill, come from the point man anymore. The man in the middle out front. Ty Keogh used to score a lot of his goals for St. Louis that way. Murphy with a rocket off the glass.
I'll tell you, one guy you'll see us shoot a lot from way out, Kevin, is Kim Runfeld from the Wichita Wings, simply because of his teammates have so much confidence in his right foot.
Here's Nenchoff. There's Kazmany doing some work. Across for Allen, and he couldn't put it in. And Crow clears it over the glass with 22 seconds left in the power play.
That last play almost worked there for the Cleveland Force, Kevin. The calm, methodical build-up, and all the while they're doing that, Craig Allen is running into some open spaces, and they try a low, hard ball across the face of the goal. Allen almost ran onto it for a nice goal.
Kazmany. As the power play dwindles down, Craig Allen in front, blocked by Chacha Namdar. Jungle off the boards, but Furphy will get to it first. Just 8 seconds left in the power play. Hoskevy, oh, he just hit it wide. Well, that's their best opportunity as the power play comes to an end. Hoskevy again high off the glass. Oh, why did Louis Nenchoff wait? But Allen scores anyway. I thought Louis Nenchoff was going to fire it in.
Nice work by the Cleveland Force on that goal, Kevin. To pull back within 4, but nice work. Let's see how it develops. Keith Furphy lays it off to Kai Hoskevy. He shoots, it rebounds high over the crossbar. Nenchoff receives it, lays it down to Craig Allen, who first times it into the back of the net. Now 8-4 in favor of the San Diego Sockers. Nonetheless, a nicely engineered goal by the visiting Cleveland Force.
For Allen, his 26th of the year. And Louis Nenchoff picks up the assist with 5 minutes left in the game. That is not a power play goal, by the way. The teams were at full strength just prior to the goal being scored. Here comes Sweeney. Well, a couple of quick ones for Cleveland, and they'll be right back in this thing.
Yes, sir. And year after year, Kevin, Keith Furphy and Craig Allen and Kai Hoskevy, that's why this Cleveland Force franchise is so successful. They have those 3 players, the mainstays of their franchise, if you will. They're always amongst the top league leaders in scoring and assist making.
Oh, Perez for Jungle. And here they come. Jungle shoots it wide, and it hits the groove and goes over the glass. Been a little bit frustrated tonight, but he does have a goal and an assist.
He does so much away from the ball, Kevin. He is immediate danger as soon as he steps place on the field. Read a statistic about him today. Last week he recorded his 82nd career hat trick.
Better than 40% of the games he's played in, he's had a hat trick. That's outstanding. Unbelievable is what it is. But he's not on pace for another 100-goal year this year. His goal this evening is 33rd. Buffett stealing it for Cleveland and coming back the other way. 3-on-3 for the Force. Dargle falls over the ball, and San Diego controls with Katakulidis in the corner. 3:40 left in the game. Stolen away by War. But he gives it away. Hugo Perez around Furphy. Oh, they'll love that. Here's Wilrich. To Segota. He thought Wilrich was going with him, but he didn't do it. Peter Ward with a lot of room in midfield. Got Brett Hall, who tried to feed it to him, but it was intercepted. But now Furphy gets it back for Cleveland. Kevin Crowe knocks him off the ball. Kaz Dana gets around Hall, but Hall trips it, so it'll go against Cleveland. And you're right, Bill. Brett Hall has not been getting all that much playing time.
He really hasn't, Kevin. The first part of the year, he had been one of the mainstays for the Cleveland Force defense. And assistant coach Jay Hoffman, well, the head coach this evening, told me that the defensive four he's been using now is really a solid defensive unit. Each of them has some strong points, and they mesh together nicely as a solid unit.
Less than 3 minutes left in this game. Cleveland, even though they're losing, and even if they do lose, would hold on to third place in the East because St. Louis lost to Chicago tonight.
And we'll see St. Louis Sunday afternoon, Kevin, when the New York Cosmos coming to the St. Louis Arena. First time this year to bring our sports time viewers, the New York Cosmos.
And they haven't been beating anybody. Great comeback by Las Vegas tonight. They beat Los Angeles 8-4 after they trailed 4-1. So that helps San Diego's cause. They could pull a game and a half in front of the West if they can hold on to a 4-goal lead with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left.
What an incredible comeback by the Las Vegas Americans, Kevin. Maybe Don Popovich will straighten things out.
Maybe that'll get that team going. Mike Sweeney on the deck. No foul was called. They're announcing that score as we take a look at that foul again.
Sweeney elbow from behind by Kevin Crowe.
They just announced that laser score here, and that brings this crowd alive. They've been very content with their 4-goal lead here for quite a while.
Yes, they have.
That third quarter eruption really did the trick, and Segota goes off for 2 minutes.
Senseless foul by Bronco Segota, putting a bad trademark on his good performance so far this evening.
He tripped Tarnocci, and he'll get the gate for 2 minutes with 1:33 left, so he'll get a 1.5-minute penalty.
Well, watch the play again, Kevin. Well, that's a prior play. Kevin Crowe elbowing Mike Sweeney. This is evidently best 2 out of 3 falls here.
Yeah, and it's going to not going to Segota. Segota looks like a fullback.
Stocky, well put together. Number 20, Bronco Segota, very gifted player. Was frustrated on that last tackle. He kicks and trips and pushes over in the process his opponent.
So the clock is stopped as Jay Hoffman talks it over with his Force players. They'll have 1:33 on a power play. So they've got to score 4 times. That is not, in all probability, going to happen.
I don't believe so.
Would you take that to the bank? Well, a big win for Las Vegas. Lasers may look back on that game, a 4-1 lead, and they lose.
That's right, Kevin. And some more insurance, some comfortable insurance right here before the All-Star game, which will take place February 24th at the Richfield Coliseum. We saw Jay Hoffman talking to his team. We mentioned again that Jay Hoffman, the assistant coach, normally is the head coach tonight for the Cleveland Force because Timo Liakowski recuperating from a skin infection in the hospital. And he had a very serious temperature, Kevin. He had a 104-degree temperature, and he was seriously ill, but he's back on the mend now. He's hoping to come back and maybe join the team on the West Coast, maybe Monday night for the Los Angeles game. Not definite, but he'd certainly like to do so.
Well, if not, it's certainly a pleasure to have an assistant coach like Jay Hoffman to turn the reins over to.
Very capable of what he does.
Very fine man in the process also. 8-4 San Diego. Cleveland on the power play. Louis Nanchoff. Oh, he scored from an almost impossible angle.
Was that some absolutely beautiful work by Jim Gorsuch says, hey, what's going on here? It's 8-5. Watch this play by Louis Nanchoff. Cuts the ball past Kevin Crow and beats Jim Gorsuch in the far corner. Is that lovely work by Louis Nanchoff?
Second goal of the night, his 19th of the year.
Lovely ball by Furphy out of the back. Nanchoff so good in close. One of the best in the league one-on-one. That's beautiful work by Louis Nanchoff.
So San Diego returns to full strength with 1:13 left. 8-5, the Sockers lead. And now Cleveland has pulled the goalkeeper, Vaccaro, in favor of a sixth attacker, Benny Dargle.
When Louis Nanchoff cuts that ball, Kevin, makes his initial cut when he's going one-on-one on that last defender, you better follow him because he's going to get around you.
Handball whistled against the Sockers.
It's the only way you can have a chance against Louis Nanchoff when you're one-on-one, when he makes that initial cut with the ball. And he's very good at the old style of the push and go move. He's very good in close. Very skilled player.
Benny Dargle brings it up for the Force with 1 minute left. Casamani for the Force. Here's Dargle. There's Furphy, who was open for a moment. Now a drive in front. Nanchoff nearly had his third of the night. Casamani chipping it for Hoskeby. Again, Nanchoff. It hit Crow in the chest. Here's Daly with an open goal, and he hits it wide. 30 seconds left. Wilrich and Daly keeping up the pressure. Oh, Jungle's wide open, but they didn't see him. They nearly scored on an accidental carom anyway. Jungle was wide open at the far corner. 10 seconds left as they count it down here in San Diego. Hoskeby. Missed it on a tough angle, and there's the horn. And that ends the ball game. San Diego defeating Cleveland 8-5. What an explosion, all in the third quarter for the Sockers, when they scored 5 unanswered goals to win the game. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. Back here live at the San Diego Sports Arena. Victory in the books for the first place San Diego Sockers over the Cleveland Force, 8-5. A 5-goal third quarter explosion by the Sockers was never answered by Cleveland, and thus the Force coming in here. They know how it is now to come into play San Diego on the West Coast. A very difficult assignment, and the Sockers carry it out for themselves, and Cleveland has to take a loss.
Exactly right, Kevin. And maybe Sports Time brings out the best in the San Diego Sockers, because each time they've been on a telecast this year, they have absolutely taken apart their opponents.
Bill, what is the key to their success? Very balanced scoring, I know, but that counterattacking style erupted so quickly in that third quarter, I don't think the Force knew what hit them.
They really didn't, Kevin, and they're so gifted at doing that. They come forward in numbers, they attack in droves, their defenders do a nice job of winning the ball in the back, and then Jungle can either turn on at top speed, and when he's not on the field, Rocco Segota and Dana work together so nicely, and added to their attack now is Hugo Perez, who works very nicely with Steve Jungle.
How important an addition is Perez?
Very important, because he's the key to indoor soccer is 1-2s and quick ball movement. He's very skilled at that.
All right, the Sockers entrenching themselves in first place in the West by a game and a half with the Los Angeles loss tonight. And they win it here 8-5 over the Force. This has been a live presentation of Sports Time, the network with more major live events than any other network. Be sure to be with Sports Time again Sunday afternoon at 3 Eastern Time for more live Major Indoor Soccer League action, when it'll be the New York Cosmos against the St. Louis Steamers, live from the arena in St. Louis, Missouri. Tonight's telecast has been brought to you by Bud Light. The best has a taste all its own, satisfying but never filling. For Bill McDermott and our director, Lonnie Dale, this is Kevin Slayton saying so long from the Sports Arena in San Diego, California, where tonight the Sockers defeat the Force 8-5. So long, everybody.
This has been a live presentation of Sports Time.